One of the biggest challenges we face in parenthood is with our love relationship, the relationship with our partner. This is what I want to talk about today because the challenge is real. The struggles we go through are real. Kids will test this relationship in ways we never thought that could happen, even the most stable ones. So stay with me. I'm Anna. This is the value signal where women get to rise from within the lives they chose. So motherhood does not have to be the end of us. It is actually the strength that makes us rise like phoenix. I've said it before here in the channel that motherhood has brought me to my knees. I know this happens to a lot of women. All your strength is put to test. And the strength of your relationship, it gets tested in an even deeper way, I would believe. I haven't talked much about my husband here in the channel, and I haven't yet because I've been focusing on my process and how I managed to rise from a state where I was actually fearful that I would never be like myself again or would never recognize myself again and would remain a shadow from what I was before. This is the process I went through, and I've been talking about it. And I haven't talked about my husband in all this, not because he's not supportive. He's actually the most supportive partner, man that I could have found. He's really there for me. But because this process had to be mine, I had to find a way to rise. And it took me a while to realize that he couldn't help me in this. He could help me in the support of everything around me or helping me have more time for myself. But the actual inner work, it had to be mine. I had to rise. Today, it's not about him. It's about the way our relationship got tested and how I found steps that helped me actually save it, because that was also endangered at some point. Even if we never thought about divorce or leaving each other, that was never up to discussion between us. But still, the relationship was struggling. Let's put it that way. So, three things that I find essential if a relationship is to survive parenthood. One of them is to see our projections. I'll use my example. I was feeling, I can only find a word in my language, which is desamparada, like amparo was not there. Amparo means protection, having one's needs met, and in all levels. So it's a very broad word. I can't find a translation for it in English. And I felt like I didn't have that. And I was projecting it on my husband, even though he was working like crazy to provide for us, so that I could have time for my child. I kept projecting this on him until the moment I realized, wait a minute, this is my wound. This is not what he's doing. This is my wound. I have this wound from my childhood. This is a theme that has repeated itself in my life in many ways because of the structure of my origin family and how I grew up. And I was projecting it on him. And the moment I saw that this is actually my wound, and no matter what he does, he's not going to fix it. I have to face it and fix it. And just by seeing it, it started changing and healing. So that was the first step. So that's one thing you can think about. If you are complaining about something about your partner and you're seeing faults and you're being very critic, think about it. Is it really them, or is it a wound of yours that's showing up? The next point is stop complaining. Stop complaining. And this goes for everything in life, but in relationships, this is very important. The more you complain, the more you focus on negative things about your partner, the more you engage them and you take away their freedom to be themselves. And no one wants that. That is very repelling, and that creates a lot of distance. So complaining is not the way to go. If you feel like they're doing something that you don't like and it's not working for you, then find a place, take deep breaths, take a moment for yourself before you speak to them. Come from the heart and from your needs and talk to them like that. And this is already the next step, communication, using non-violent communication. So instead of accusing and say, oh, but you are doing this and you are not doing that, and I have to do everything, that's a no-go, because that will put people on the fence and they will not be able to listen to what you actually need. So come from a place of the heart and you say, there's a structure actually that you can use. And the structure is this: I am feeling whatever it is because I need whatever it is. So think about it. I am feeling really nervous. I'm feeling anxious because I need rest. And that's something clear that someone can understand. Instead of saying, oh, but I have to do everything, you do nothing, you're not helping me. That, you see, that's a completely different language. Or I'm feeling sad because I need more time for myself. You see, that's the structure. Come from the heart, from what you're feeling, and communicate what you need. So no accusation, no complaining. Because most times when you're accusing, people get defensive and they don't actually understand what you need. You're not communicating a need, you're just accusing. Next step is not exactly related to parenthood, but it works in relationships in general, is respect their movement. Here's an example from my relationship. My husband, he smokes. I don't like it. I'm not a smoker. I don't like it. I don't like the smell. I don't like anything about it. We're both medical doctors, so we both know how bad that is. So I don't have to tell him what he's doing or what it's doing to his body because he knows it already. And for a long time, I was kind of thinking, yeah, how can I make him see it so that he feels guilty and then he stops and all of these things. And now I've come to realize that, as crazy as it might sound, I don't actually know that stop smoking is the best for him. It's a tough one. Of course, rationally, it is the best for his health and for everything. But the truth is, I don't know what could happen to him if he stops. Maybe his stress level will skyrocket. Maybe he'll put on weight and it will ruin his health that way. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen if he does stop. And that means I don't actually know if stopping is the best for him. And this goes for everything. If you want your partner to change in any way because you think it's better for them, trust me, you don't actually know what's better for them. So respect their movement. If they're going to see it for themselves and decide it's the best for them to stop smoking, brilliant. That I will support him all the way. But I'm not going to nag him about it. I'm not going to nag him about anything. If he asks my opinion, I can give it, but no nagging. This is very, very, very important in your relationship. You don't like people telling you what's best for you. And the fact of the matter is, many times we think, oh, we just want to help. But we don't actually know if that's helpful. We don't have that ability. And I do believe, in the meantime, I do believe that only the creator, the universe, God, whatever you want to call it, only the creator knows what is best for anyone. So we can't put ourselves in that place because we don't actually know. We don't give advice that has not been asked, and we don't nag. I now look at my husband and his smokes, and I'm not half as annoyed as I was before thinking about it this way. It changes everything. It gives acceptance. And it gives certainty because you give your partner back their power. I give my partner back his power when I trusted that when the time comes and he's ready, he's going to take that step. It's his power. It's not me nagging him and taking his power away from him. See if we can get these steps again. I'm doing this very spontaneously. First of all, we start projecting and see where our wounds are. Are we projecting our wounds into the partner? And if we are, we take a look inside and we realize that our wounds are ours to heal. No one can do that work for us. We stop complaining. We don't complain about them. We respect their movement and we don't try to help when help is not asked for. We don't know what's better for them. we communicate in a non-violent way. And one last thing is we can recognize their effort. If we're going through a hard time and you're really tired and everything is kind of feeling too much, it's probably like that for them too. So let's have some compassion and let's see love bloom in our relationships and in our families. Because if we come from a loving place instead of a defensive place, instead of a victim place, we can see our families flourish in harmony. And if we come from a victim place of feeling like everyone's doing us wrong, we might ruin that very thing that we're trying to build. So I hope this helps. And I hope all your relationships bloom in love and harmony and understanding.